Well, hey there, guys. Welcome back to the channel. So, a bit kind of semi-big trade, I guess. I mean, it's one of the bigger, one of the bigger names being traded. Just got traded a little while ago, and I kind of had some thoughts on it. But before I get into that, if this is your first time here, welcome. If you love hockey content, hockey content like what I'm about to talk about, if you love jersey unboxings, jersey talk, any other kind of hockey talk, if you love that kind of stuff, it would be greatly appreciated if you were to hit the subscribe button there. And with that said, let's discuss this. Now, we had a 3-team trade here. And I'm wearing Toronto because obviously they win this trade. Without a doubt, they win this trade. And as we get into this, I'm a little perturbed about our home team here and why they decided to jump in on this. But first off, what ended up happening was, first, the St. Louis Blues, they first traded Ryan O Reilly to the Minnesota Wild. Which I thought, which when I first read it, I was like, really? The Wild picked up O'Reilly? It's like, okay, that'd be cool. But then I read down, they then trade O'Reilly to Toronto, while retaining 25% of his salary, and in exchange for the Wild sending O'Reilly to Toronto, they get Toronto's 2025 fourth-round pick. Okay, I don't understand why the Wild did that, but they retained 25% of his salary. Now, O'Reilly's cap hit is $7.5 million, so they retain $1.875 million of Ryan O'Reilly's salary. So they trade him. So St. Louis trades O'Reilly to Minnesota, then Minnesota trades him to Toronto. Well, then St. Louis, they then trade Noel Acciari. They get Noel Acciari also in this deal for Mikhail Abramoff and Adam Gaudette. St. Louis retains 50% of O'Reilly's salary. So they retain $3.75 million of Ryan O'Reilly's salary. Obviously O'Reilly is an unrestricted free agent at the end of the year. At least I believe he is. Let's see here, because let's see. I'm trying to check cap friendly here, because I think O'Reilly is unrestricted after this season. And where is it? Where is the thingamajig here? Okay, here we go. Get into the players here. And needless to say, now Toronto has no cap space left. So O'Reilly is, let's see. Noel Acciari is an unrestricted free agent also. So yeah, where is Ryan O'Reilly here? There he is. Okay, Ryan O'Reilly, he's an unrestricted free agent. So is Noel Acciari. So the Leafs acquire Ryan O'Reilly and Noel Acciari. They get O'Reilly technically from Minnesota, who Minnesota got from St. Louis. So Minnesota basically facilitated, they were the middleman in this trade between St. Louis and Toronto. Toronto, all they retain from Ryan O'Reilly's salary is, of the $7.5 million cap hit that O'Reilly has, Toronto is getting Ryan O'Reilly basically for $1.875 million. Needless to say, Toronto wins this, going away. St. Louis, they obviously they were going to have to retain salary, but obviously they feel that they wouldn't be able to sign O'Reilly, so they figure, we'll get something out of it. But the thing that gets me is, why did Minnesota get into this? You get back a 2025 fourth round pick. What good does that do you right now? Now it's interesting. Looking, the draft year, the 2025 draft year, the Minnesota Wild have 7 picks in that draft. Okay. That's all well and good, but why? I don't understand why would Minnesota get in on this? Why would Minnesota want to help Toronto land a pretty darn good player? I don't get it. I don't really understand why. Like I said, when I first heard, Ryan O'Reilly, Minnesota Wild acquire Ryan O'Reilly, I was like, I literally was like seriously? I was like, oh, that's cool. And then read further down, and then so Ryan O'Reilly was a member of the Minnesota Wild for maybe 5 minutes. Because then they get O'Reilly, they then flip him to Toronto for a 4th round draft pick in 2025. I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like that from the Wild standpoint, because this obviously tells me, and I think a lot of other Minnesota fans, that they might be selling. They definitely might be a seller this year. They've really struggled lately, and they're kind of hovering around that playoff spot. Right now, I think they're on the outside looking in. And so I think this tells me that the Wild are sellers. But Toronto snagging Ryan O'Reilly and Noel Acciari? Definitely interesting. So so the Blues directly send Acciari to Toronto. Toronto got O'Reilly from Minnesota, who Minnesota got them from St. Louis. So yeah, Minnesota basically was the middleman. That's all they were. They were the middleman to take a draft pick, retain some cash, and basically really help bolst the Leafs roster. So definitely an interesting trade. I definitely think Toronto won this trade. St. Louis got something out of the deal. They knew they weren't going to be able to re-sign him, so they said, what, we'll retain some salary, and they get a couple of players, and St. Louis gets something out of the deal. Minnesota, yeah, they go and retain a little bit of salary, and they get a 4th round pick out of it. So I guess the other teams got something out of the deal, but I don't know why Minnesota took part in that, but they did, and they get the 4th round pick in 2025, and yeah. So let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think of this trade? What do you think about Minnesota basically being the middleman here, and they really got of everything, Minnesota got the absolute least of everything here. What do you think about this trade? What do you think about, what do you like about what St. Louis got back? And what do you think about Toronto? Does this make does this boost Toronto into a serious cup contender? Can they finally win a round with Ryan O'Reilly on their team? I'd love to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments section below. And obviously, hit like and subscribe if you have not done so already. And yeah, first little 3-team trade. So let me know what you guys think. Again, hit like and subscribe if you've not done so already. And I will talk to you guys again later.